Okay, now we're back because the dough has risen beautifully to double in size. Great big puffy batch of dough, and the chocolate dough, huge. Put that one aside for now. And we'll start to make our 3 dozen hot cross buns with our triple recipe here. So we need to shake some flour on the bench again and tip the dough out onto it. Come out easier now. And I did forget to put the butter into the chocolate dough, but that won't matter. All the chocolate will make it rich enough. Butter just helps it keep fresher longer. Now just flip the dough over in the flour so that it's got a floury coating all around it and it's not sticky anymore. And now I'm going to divide this into 3. Don't have to be too careful about it. Each batch aside. Now, this is a batch of dough, so we'll just work as if this was the only batch I made for a minute. What I do is I divide the dough in half and roll each piece out into a fat log, because that makes it easy to divide it into 6 that are fairly even. So take that and get a good test of where half is, and then cut those into 3. And this one, and then you've got your first half a dozen ready to shape. So I've done this an awful lot, so I'm really good at it and really quick. But you're just going round and round and round, shaping it into a neat bun. I've made hundreds of these every year, so I've had a lot of practice. Just get them nice and tidy. Now, if you want to be really fussy, you can shape all 12 of the buns and line them up on your bench. And then just before you put them in the tray, you can shape them again and put them into the tray. That way, if they've risen a fair bit while they're sitting around, they get all brought back to the same size. But because I'm very quick at this, I put them straight into my tray. I've got trays that hold about 18 buns at a time because I'm making so many. But a nice little tray of about 8-9 inches by about 12 inches is the perfect size for a dozen hot cross buns, and with a little bit of a side on it. I'll show you the proper size in a minute. So they're shaped beautifully. And then roll this batch out. And again in half and then into thirds. Very first time I ever did this, I measured them all on the scales just to make sure, and that's just too much fiddling. They don't have to be perfectly the same size. Flour. Once you've put them into your tray, we brush the tops of the buns with a mixture of milk with a little bit of sugar in it, and that's going to wash away all the flour off the top. And when the buns are cooked, they're going to be nice and dark coloured, that nice golden caramelised look. And then when they come out of the oven, I've got this mixture here. This is a special sticky spicy glaze, and that's what makes them all shiny and sticky on the top when you're finished. And what I do is mix up either honey or golden syrup, warm it up or add a little bit of boiling water to it, and then add some spices. So it's a mixture that's got a nice spicy combination of cinnamon and mixed spice and the sticky syrup. And you brush that over the buns when they come out of the oven while they're still hot, and it gives that lovely sticky top to them, and it helps the buns keep from drying out. So there's my tray of 12 buns. I'm going to put some more in here. I can push them over a little bit and fit more in the tray, but 3 by 4 is your dozen hot cross buns. That's the perfect size tray for the buns. A little bit high, about 1.5 inches tall at the sides, and about 8 inches by 12 inches. Makes a really good size tray for the buns. You probably can't get them with this special red coating that I've got. You might need to line your tray with baking paper. Now we take our next lot. And again, cut that dough in half. Your dough should be really puffy and soft and lively. If it's dull and heavy and solid, then it means that you haven't made the dough probably wet enough, or it hasn't risen enough. And with everything made with yeast, make sure you're using good bread flour, not just plain or self-raising flour. You don't use those for bread making. It's got to have a high gluten content, which makes it good and stretchy. You can feel the lumpy clumps of fruit in these buns. They're not like the shop-bought ones where you can count the sultanas and raisins or whatever they use on one hand. We have lots of fruit in our buns. Just tuck them round. This out.